Growing up in the 80s and 90s, we literally had it all. No worries, no bills, just the best music, toys, TV shows, video games, wrestling was awesome, and we definitely had the best movies ever.
My blood is in your veins.
You want to be like Fonzie, don't you?
Help, hi.
Why are you pushing me?
Our pets' heads are falling off!
The only thing we serve is tongue.
I'm Ryan, owner of 80s Cinemas and 90s to the Future on Instagram, and that's my cousin Joe. We're just two guys who love everything about the 80s and 90s. Together, we're traveling through the timeline. Hey,
What's up?
what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good. A little tired, but I'm good. I'm hanging in there. Hanging in there.
Same, bro. Same. So I was just letting, the followers know that today we're going to be discussing 80s snacks that were discontinued. I actually do have, I think it's from the 90s. I haven't really done my actual, I should have done my homework on this, but I discussed it with you before. But I think it's from the 90s, which is fine. I mean, I run 90s to the future as well, so that should be fine. Really quick, I just wanted to get our sponsor out of the way, Redmond Real Salt, salt the way it's supposed to be with clean ingredients. There's a link in my story if you want to purchase. It's only $6 for a shaker. Click the link. You'll be really, really glad that you did. So yeah, man, 80s snacks won the poll. I really can't believe it. I thought it was going to be wrestling.
I did too. I was hoping it was going to be wrestling. This one was, this was up there in my, one of the ones I wanted to talk about, but I think wrestling would have definitely been beneficial for both of us.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was going to, but it did not. I was surprised. I was like, all right, hey, it is what it is.
Listen, everybody loves snacks. I still love snacks. So, and we know we don't have the snacks we used to have. Things are different now.
No.
So.
I sometimes think about the snacks that we used to have as a kid, even in the 90s. This is not on my list, so I can mention. Well, actually, maybe I shouldn't mention it because maybe it might be on your list. I don't know. I saw your list. It's not. Remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Teddy Grahams?
The Teddy Grahams, yeah.
Or they were just regular graham crackers that I used to use for cereal.
They had like different flavors too. They had chocolate chip, just like regular Teddy Grahams. They just had different character on the on the box and the shapes of the cookies. But turtles, turtle grams or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it was something like that. I forget who it was by too, but there were so many things. But all right. So let's. Do you want to go first this week, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first because one of the ones that one of the snacks on my list was a little obscure. I'm not sure if anyone. It's not like a memorable name one or anything like that, but maybe some people who are old enough might remember what it was from maybe having it or seeing it in stores or something like that. I looked all over the place. I Googled and I looked online everywhere, and I tried to see if I can find the damn company that made this freaking thing, but I couldn't find it. But the first one I want to talk about is the Neapolitan ice cream squares. Now, these squares were individually wrapped squares of ice cream. Okay, so it was like, picture a Klondike bar, right? You know what a Klondike bar is, right? Everybody knows. They have Neapolitan Klondike bars, but those are covered in chocolate.
Right.
This one wasn't. It was just a square of vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry ice cream. And when I was a kid, one of our favorite snacks, me and my sister, was ice cream sandwich waffles. Now, I'm sure you had them. I remember having them at your house, and
Sure.
we used to have them, and Carol used to insist that we always have ice cream in the house, and
Always.
we used to toast up, waffles and make sandwiches with ice cream between toasted waffles. And I've been eating them since I could remember. I know that was one of our favorite snacks growing up, and my father used to make them with our favorite flavors of ice cream, whatever you wanted. But I remember distinctly that there was a brand of ice cream that had these wrapped, and they were just the right size to fit on a toasted Eggo waffle, you know,
Yes.
put it on there, and it was a nice thick piece of. It wasn't like a ball of ice cream in the middle of your waffle, or
Not at all.
little scrapes of ice cream on your waffles. Nice, even, thick, real deal. You know what I mean? I have no idea the company. I don't remember it. I don't remember because I was kind of young. I didn't make them for myself, but I remember my father making them and doing that. And to me, like, one of the things that makes what we talk about here in the pages that you run so interesting is that the things that we have and the things that we remember, are most important. And it's not that this particular snack was a popular item or an 80s fad or something that everybody remembers, back when they were a kid and having it. But I remember having it when I was a kid. So to me,
Yeah. So did I.
it was a memorable 80s snack and if I could find them now, believe me, I would. I tried. I don't know where. I have no idea where they are.
Even Googling them, I can't even find them.
Nope. I did the same thing because I was like, you know what? If I'm going to talk about it, I don't want to just talk about what it was and have somebody go, "Oh, you moron! This is what it is," and here they are. I mean, somebody might do that. If anybody,
I don't see I don't see little Seaport Deli. I miss Seaport Deli in Port Jeff, man. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. My mom said Hostess pudding. Snack packs. Snack packs are still around. The Neapolitan ice cream sandwich, the squares. I remember them, but at the same time, I
can't find anything about them. But there are a lot of things that we talked about that we Googled that we know we remember, but we can't find. Like, we've seen pictures. Remember the ice stripes we were having this conversation last week, actually, on Father's Day.
Yeah.
Stripe ice cream, the ice pops that we used to get from Johnny, the Good Humor ice cream. You can Google the Good Humor menu that used to be on the sides of the trucks, and they're on there. But
Are they?
Yeah, they're on. I sent it to you. Didn't I send it to you? I
You
thought
did.
I shared that.
You did.
On the bottom right-hand side, I think it's the right-hand or left-hand side, but I know it's on the bottom. You could see the two different flavors of, and I could have used this as one of my snacks also. I didn't because I'm just so goddamn frustrated that I can't find it anywhere, and they don't make them anymore because they were my favorite. But even if you Google those, you're not going to find any of them in their wrappers or in a box or anything. You cannot find them, which is crazy. It's just insane.
I'm looking at it right now. It says Giant on it, but it's not
Giant. What? No. That was, I think what that was an ice cream sandwich that's Neapolitan. So that was cookies.
It is.
The chocolate cookies on the outside, and that I remember Johnny had that too. The ice cream man in our neighborhood carried those also. The Neapolitan ice cream sandwiches, but these weren't. These were just Flintstones push-up pops. That almost made my list, but unfortunately, I only had to pick 5. What about
the Chinese fortune gun that the ice cream man used to sell for like 5 cents?
Oh yeah, the gums, those with the little Chinese faces on them and stuff, like the little.
Yes, I do remember.
Oh my God, yeah, hell yeah. But well, that was my first pick, and that was just one of the things that I wanted to talk about. It always brings back memories for me, thinking about it. And if I could find him now, believe me, it'd be amazing.
My first pick, actually, another 80s page shared it first, and it unlocked the memory. And we spoke about, actually, you sent this to me, Giggles Cookies.
Yeah, Giggle. We talked about this on Saturday's show. A week for us, but
Giggles Cookies. Nabisco put those out in the 80s, and they, for some reason, it discontinued them in like 1993 or something like that. But I remember my mom used to have them in the house all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The chocolate ones, the vanilla ones.
Yes.
Totally,
yes.
Man.
And I remember just as a kid being like infatuated with the box because it had a bunch of the smiley faces on them.
It was kind of creepy. It was.
It was. Fun, but it was just, it was two different types of cream inside the cookie.
Yeah.
It was just, it was so good, man.
Didn't they have one? I don't know if they were all of them, but one cookie was also chocolate. Was it like a chocolate cookie and a vanilla cookie, or were they both chocolate cookies with 2 different vanillas? That I don't remember either.
It was it was kind of like an Oreo style, I thought. Like, I think it had like vanilla and it had chocolate.
Yeah, Dunkaroo. They brought back Dunkaroos like a year or two ago.
Yeah, they don't taste the same though. I mean, maybe it's because I'm older. They
Listen,
don't
I don't
taste the same.
know anybody, but a buddy of mine always says this. Like nothing tastes the same anymore because they took
No.
all the cancer out of it. All this stuff that everybody says is bad, and all the things that they can't use anymore. You know, with like
Yeah.
what's it called? Why am I drawing a blank right now? But high fructose corn syrup, like things like
Well,
that. All this stuff that everybody, all these big groups of loudmouths are like, oh, nobody should have it because it's bad for you, and that's why everything
well,
tastes now. You know.
it does. High fructose corn syrup is addictive. We all know that.
Okay, so is pure cane sugar. Like if you eat too
It,
much, it doesn't make a
no,
difference.
of course,
But
of course.
you
But what
know,
I'm saying is, a lot of things. I'm not saying that a lot of things when we were growing up had all that stuff in it, but
oh, it did. Everything did. That shit, it was chock full of that shit. Like, dude, look at the ingredients. Go Google giggles or anything we're gonna talk about tonight, and look at any of the ingredients on them. The first ingredient is if it's not water or flour, it's high fructose corn syrup.
I just remember the taste of the Giggles cookie because I think if I'm correct, it was a shortbread cookie.
It might have been a shortbread cookie, but I think they were vanilla flavored or chocolate flavored. But yes, it was like a
Might have
shortbread
been.
cookie. Yeah, I think it was definitely. Yeah,
I think
man.
it was too.
Those were
Those
so.
those were
I wish I
you,
had them.
you wonder- yeah, me
You know
too.
what else?
Me too.
They still make them, but one of the like an honorable mention would be just regular old school animal crackers. What I mean, how many cookies are better than like a just regular old fashioned animal cracker? I love those things.
That's the thing. Again, anything that I have, well, most of the things that I do have today, if I taste it and it was from years ago, it does not taste the same.
No,
And I feel like the size is not as big as it was, maybe because we
no,
were smaller
it's
or
not. Well,
things just shrunk.
no, what's funny is when you go to the supermarket and you buy the little quote unquote pints of ice cream,
Yeah.
they're not all pints anymore. Ben and Jerry's is still a pint, but some of them aren't pints anymore. Same thing goes with
No.
the gallons or so. They're always a little bit smaller. It's not as big as it used to be. The containers are, but they raised the prices. They're more expensive, and you're getting less so that they can keep the price point. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not just that, not just so they can charge more, but if you want to try to keep that price point the same, and you're selling an item, if you want to keep it like $2.50 or 2 for $5 or 2 for $6, to keep those things at $3 each when the cost of materials and stuff goes up, you have to minimize the size, the pack size. So everything
Yeah.
gets smaller and the price stays the same. You think it's the same, or maybe it goes up 5 cents or 10 cents or $1, whatever it is, but the pack sizes are always smaller. And that's just how it is nowadays, you know? Of course,
Yeah.
when we were 7 years old, a can of soda looked gigantic in our hands, and now it's like a sip for us. But yeah, I mean, besides that, sure, everything changes up a little bit. And I'm sure if Giggles still existed, they would be in small packs like Oreos are now. There's like 18 cookies in the damn thing. I remember when I was a kid, there was like 50 cookies in there. It's like seemed like no matter how many you ate, they never disappeared. You know?
If they were, I should say this, if I would want to eat something that I ate when I was a kid, I would at least want it to taste the same because of inflation prices.
Yeah. Well,
So if I'm going to spend the money, it better take me back to 1989.
yes, Fruit Loops. That's a good example. Cereal. Well, that's another thing. And cereals
Well,
nowadays have, they don't have the same ingredients as they did before. You know, it's different kind of refined ingredients and stuff like that. They don't use the same sort of corn and oat and stuff like that. There's a higher percentage of oat than corn because you can't have a lot of sugar, and you have to be able to show that you have a certain, like, you'll see cereal boxes that'll say like, oh, it's high in fiber or low in fat,
yeah.
but is 70 grams of sugar per serving. And you and me, we're not eating a regular serving. We're eating a third of the box in one
Dude,
shot.
let me tell you something.
Yes, I cereal. You, that's a wonderful cereal. Remember that ice cream? You shared something not too long ago on one of your pages about the cereal. Remember the ice cream cones? They were all ice cream cones, but it was cereal.
Oh yeah. Ice cream cereal.
Yeah,
Cereal. I'm a sucker for cereal.
oh,
When I was sick with COVID, I haven't had Fruit Loops. I'm sorry, not Fruit Loops. Fruity Pebbles
Pebbles.
in like 5 months,
Oh my
and
God.
I was able to kill a box within like 3 days.
Dude,
Not even.
it is not
It's deadly.
hard at all.
It's deadly.
I think if we got to do, we should do a show dedicated to just favorite cereals of all time.
Oh yeah,
We
we
don't
could do
have to
that.
just discontinued cereals. We could do, but I'll
I
say
think
it
we
right.
like that.
My Circus Fun cereal. I remember that one too. My favorite all time is Fruity Pebbles. I don't think there's even a question. A close runner up would be Captain Crunch, but
I have I have
I
a
ain't
friend that lives in Australia. I have a friend that lives in Australia, and he told me one day that he was eating Lucky Charms,
mm,
and he showed me the side of the box, and none of that stuff is in ours. It was nothing. It's made with real sugar. It's got no preservatives.
well,
It's insane. So it
yeah,
just it kind of bothers me because if you're gonna make this stuff and you're gonna make it real, at least put some stuff into it to where like
hmm
it would taste the same at least. But
yeah.
that's just me. But yeah. So but yeah. What is your second pick?
So my next one, all right, this might be one that everybody will remember, but when I was a kid, I remember going to the stationery store. You remember the stationery store, right?
Of
In
course,
the strip mall where Park Video used to be, and we used to go there all the time and rent video games
in
and shit.
Brooklyn, New York.
In Brooklyn, yeah. I used to go with Guy and Billy. They used to come. We used to hang out and go outside at like 9 o'clock in the morning during summer vacation, and play baseball and stickball and
Oh,
handball.
oatmeal swirlers. I mentioned
Oatmeal
that on my page
twirling.
the other day.
Yep, you did. You did.
Then,
Mr. J Cereal. We talked about that last week too. Remember? But yeah, so we used to go to the stationery store, and I used to ask my father for $1, $1. He used to give me $1.
Mhm.
But it stretched, and we used to go and we used to buy candy and baseball cards, which they would always completely take advantage because I didn't know who any of the baseball players were, and they would always take all my good cards and leave me with the shit cards. But anyway, I would never pick regular candy. You know what I would always pick? I would always pick gum.
What kind of gum?
Well, the reason I picked gum, thank you for asking, why did you pick gum, is because I felt like I got more. Because if you get a candy bar, right, or you get another piece of candy, whatever it is, it's one. But gum has at least 5 pieces in it. So you
It
have one
does.
piece now and you save the rest for later. But my favorite gum at that time was Gatorade gum. Do you remember Gatorade gum?
I do remember Gatorade gum. Wow,
Super
you
Joe
took it
gum,
back.
good one. But Gatorade gum, that I was infatuated with Gatorade. We used to get Gatorade back when I was a kid. My mother used to buy it for me, and it was still in the glass jars. They don't make them in glass jars anymore. They were in glass jars back then. But it's always what's up, Balboa? It's
Hey,
always there was only 2 flavors. At one time there was only lemon lime, and then it was like orange. But the gum, yeah, man, the gum. It tasted just like the juice, just like the drink. And the flavor would run out really, really quick, though. But I think there was more than 5 pieces in that one. I think there was 10 pieces.
I'm looking at it right now. The gum was supposed to help quench your thirst.
Sure.
And so what happened was Stokely Van Camp, who was the owner of Gatorade,
Mm-hmm.
he negotiated a long-term licensing deal with Swell and Vicks
Yep,
to make
Vicks.
Gatorade gum.
Yep, I remember. I
Oh
know.
my God. And it discontinued in 1989.
Yeah. So like I said, like I was little, and I remember Big League Chew is still amazing. When I played softball, I always kept a pack of Big League in my softball bag. But
Lasted not even 10 seconds, the
yeah,
taste.
I would chew the whole pouch in one day because you'd have to spit it out after a while because it was so gross. But
Oh
yeah,
my God.
Gatorade gum, man, I always had it in my house. And Tracy, when I'd come home, she would be so jealous because I would go and I would get to buy candy and stuff. But she was younger than me, so she didn't get to do that. But yeah, man, and that gum, and they actually, excuse me, I think they actually did re-release it again or have it a different type or something.
They
Uh,
still have it. They still have it.
Yeah, I thought I've seen it around, but that was one of my biggest memories of baseball cards and Gatorade gum. Going to the stationery after playing outside with Billy and Guy, and playing baseball, basketball, whatever we were doing. We would always end it with, all right, at the end of the day, we would go and because Billy always used to bring a jug of water or a big jug of iced tea.
Yeah.
So we didn't need drinks because Billy covered that with the drinks. But we would go to the store, and then we would go to the stationery and buy candy and baseball cards. And we'd go to Park Video and rent a video game or maybe
Yeah.
a movie. And then we would go back to Guy's house, my house, wherever we were going for that night. It was probably a Friday night mostly because they'd be going to your house to play cards and we'd all hang out and that was what it was
So
like, especially in the summertime, because we didn't have school and, everybody was off on weekends, not like it is now where I got to work every day of my life. But yeah, but
Yeah.
that was my choice. Again, a lot of my choices are have to do with memories that they bring back for me, and I connect all that to that. You know, everything from
Well,
my.
speaking of my mom going to play cards, my mom is actually on here again. Hi, Ma.
Yes,
How
she
you
is.
doing?
I think she's our biggest supporter now because she's the only one that I think I've noticed who's been on every one of our shows so far.
Yeah, yeah. I actually want to have my mom on a live one night, as chaotic as that would be.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll
but
take the night off that night if you want, and she can be my replacement. Like you know when Johnny
no, you're
Carson.
stuck with it too. What do you think this is?
I
You're
know.
off.
Like when
Um,
takes vacation, you know, he would always have somebody replace him.
yeah, no, no, no. Um, my mom used to go play cards on Friday nights, with our friend Guy's mom, right? And
Kathy, my
yeah,
mom,
and she would take
yeah,
me, and it would always be me like tagging along because you guys would be playing like Mike Tyson's Punch Out or RC Pro Am, and
yeah.
my
Casey
mom,
did double
my
dribble
mom,
featured the other day.
double dribble. I featured there, and my mom would lay out a ton of candy
Yeah,
like on the table because they were gonna play cards or whatever, and you're talking peanut chews, peanut M&Ms, everything, and they had everything. But my
Reese's.
mom used to also lay out candy bars as well. And actually, I have a picture. I have to find it. I have a picture, and on the table is a bar of Hershey's Bar None.
Really?
Yes,
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
that's what struck up. That's why I put it on my list because Hershey's. This had to be. I was like maybe three
Mm,
going on four at the time.
mm.
Um, and Hershey's Bar None, it had, if I remember, it was kind of like, you know how Twix has like that wafery taste?
Yeah, well, it's a cookie.
Yeah, right.
Like
This had
Kit
a
Kat,
wafer.
Kat is wafer.
Sorry, Kit Kat. Yes. Wow, I
Hey, there
couldn't
you go.
think. Kit
How do you
Kat.
get your
But
candy?
I have, bro. I don't. I yeah. Well, uh, but this kind of tasted like a Kit Kat mixed with a chocolate payday.
Oh man, chocolate paydays.
Yeah, because it had the peanuts, it had the chocolate, and it
Really?
had the wafer. Yeah, dude, it was
You know, I
so
remember.
so good.
I don't know if I've ever had one.
I remember it.
I remember what they look like, and I vaguely remember the commercial. There's a familiar actor in the commercial. I think he's not a big star, big celebrity or anything, but I know I vaguely. I don't think I've ever had one though before.
Oh no, bro, they were so good.
Yeah.
In the picture, I have to find it in my phone, but in the picture, Kathy's sitting there, my mom's sitting there, that lady Monica sitting there,
Oh,
and
Monica. Yeah, Monica.
on the table is that yellow package, and it says Bar None on it.
Shit, really? Yeah, you gotta show.
Yeah, man. And I was just like, wow, like I always look at our pictures for stuff like that. Like I see like the old Coca-Cola cups and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but
Yeah.
there was a
The
bar
glass bottle.
Hershey's, yeah,
The
the
glass
Hershey's
bottle
Bar None.
with the styrofoam wrap around it. Remember those?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh
So
wow.
I mean, I did Google this. It
Uh-huh.
ended in 1992. It ended.
Wow.
They discontinued Hershey's Bar in 92.
Wow.
My thing, like I was saying before, is I guess if it's going well, Clark bars are still around, ma. I see them.
They're
Yeah,
good. They're not. They're definitely good.
yeah, and you know where I've seen them, which is disgusting, along with chunky bars, Dollar Tree.
Chunky bars are good, man.
I ain't buying them from Dollar Tree.
Good. Peanuts and raisins and that shit. I like them. My mother's favorite candy bar. That was one of them. She used to like not paydays. Sorry, you got me. I got paydays on my head now, especially the
Paydays are
chocolate.
good.
Yeah,
Paydays are
go get
good.
the chocolate one. If you're gonna treat yourself on a cheat day or something, have a chocolate payday. No. So she used to like Chunkies. They were like her big time favorite. Heath bars, which is like a toffee covered in chocolate. A toffee crunch bar, which I love toffee also, and Hershey's Symphony bars. She used to always love those, the milk chocolate and the toffee ones too.
The Symphony bars are good.
Oh man, those are something else, dude. They sell this candy at my job. I forget the name of the chocolate, but I'm gonna show it to you. I'll show you. I'll take a picture of it tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, Friday. But it's milk chocolate and it has cornflakes in it. It's
I don't know
milk
how I feel
chocolate
about that.
cornflakes, man. They have a whole line. There's all different kinds. There's mint with chocolate. I can't do anything. You will never hear me talk good about anything mint and chocolate.
Yeah, I don't
I,
like mint either.
is My mother used to like Andy's candies, and when I was little, I used to act like I liked them too because I didn't want to hurt her feelings because she used to love Andy's candies. The only mint I can handle is mouthwash, toothpaste, stuff like that, and candy canes.
Well,
Otherwise,
toothpaste,
can't mix
sure.
it with chocolate. It makes me want to puke.
What is the next one on your list?
All right, the next one on my list here, we're getting interesting now, and you're gonna remember this. I'm sure you will. Oreo Big Stuff. Do you remember the Big Stuff
I
Oreo?
do.
Giant.
They basically remade it though into Oreo Mega Stuff now.
Well, no, you're absolutely wrong. Oreo Mega Stuff has more stuffing in a regular cookie.
Okay.
Oreo Big Stuff was a big single serve
It was
cookie.
it was, yes.
It was like as big as my palm. It
Yeah,
was a big cookie in a wrapper, and they came in 10 packs, 10 in a box.
I do remember.
You got to remember the commercial. Remember when they used the Gene Knight song, Mr. Big Stuff, but they changed the lyrics to Oreo Big Stuff. You don't remember that? Who do you think you are?
I'd
Google
have
it
to
right
see it to
now
remember.
and play it for everybody who's the 11 people that are watching us right now. But yeah, dude, that was a big deal. Like back then, I remember it being such a big deal. Now in my house, I always used to have to beg for Oreo cookies. We used to have Chips Ahoy in the house all the time. My mother was a big buyer of Chips Ahoy and
Hmm.
Vienna fingers. Those long vanilla cookies with they look like surfboards kind of. You know what I'm talking? The Vienna fingers.
I
Well,
do,
anyway,
yes.
yeah. But the problem is, my father was a Hydrox fan because he grew up eating Hydrox. Now, Hydrox to me was like bootleg cookies. Nobody fucking wanted Hydrox in my
They're
house.
duplexes.
We wanted Oreos, but we would never get Oreos because Daddy wants Hydrox.
He liked Hydrox?
He did, man. I don't know why.
Oh
It
my
was for
God.
him. Like for us, chocolate cookies were chocolate cookies. I don't think we could really tell much of a difference. But to
Oh,
us, Oreo cookies, that was the name brand. That was the one that's on TV.
yeah.
That everybody had. So we wanted Oreos. The only time we ever got Oreos is when she bought the double stuffed Oreos. Because they had, all right, there's a difference. So, oh, these have more stuffing. So, oh my God, there's a big deal. But when those big stuffs came out, my father didn't even eat Hydrox cookies anymore. My mother was buying big stuff cookies all the time because going to school, my school lunch always had big stuff cookies in them. Snacks at home, big stuff cookies. It was like, I don't know what it was. It was like a fad. It was like a rage at the time with those cookies. You could even, if you remember, the home videos of us camping at Heckscher State Park.
Hmm.
You see us eating them. We're eating big stuff cookies, Oreo big stuff cookies.
I vaguely remember that.
There's pictures, and we have video proof of eating Oreo big stuff.
Is that the
And,
one where I pushed you over the cooler?
well, one of them, yeah, that was, it might have been that particular trip. I'm not sure. But I remember that trip. That's because I was luring you in with those peanut butter cheese crackers. Remember the cheese cracker sandwiches with the peanut butter inside? I was
You know
tricking you.
what?
Yeah, you remember that?
I do. I
You got a
do.
cookie, and they were like, "He doesn't have a cookie, right? He doesn't have a cookie. He's lying." And you were like, "Let me see the cookie." Remember that? That was
I
hysterical.
do.
But
I
yeah,
do.
in those videos, you could see us eating the Oreo Big Stuffs, and they disappeared. And I Googled this, actually, because I wanted to see when they stopped making them. And the reason they stopped was because they weren't selling as much because the high price point, and there was a big pack. There was a lot of them in there, and they didn't sell as much as they thought they were going to sell. So they dropped them. Like, you don't think they can sell those now? Imagine that.
Yeah, they could. I don't
Oh,
understand why they wouldn't.
just to me, I'd buy them all.
Well, I mean,
I
I
would
personally,
buy
I
'em.
would like them. Listen, when I was sick last week, I had Oreos too. I
Oh,
put a
man.
pack of
Dude,
almost
and
I
I
was
know you know, I have Oreos in my house all the time because Adam is a freak with Oreos. He likes every flavor. He likes the double stuff. His favorite's the mega stuff, but he likes mint Oreos.
I don't know what that's about. He
Do you
likes to
know
eat
why?
toothpaste.
Yeah, well, you know why he buys mint Oreos and he makes Carla buy mint Oreos? Because he knows I won't eat them.
That's greed.
And then he eats them all. But I don't care because I don't like them. But he likes all of them, though. That's his favorite snack, his favorite cookie. Those and Reese's peanut butter cups. And in this house, if we had Oreo Big Stuff, man, I would have to get a second job. That kid will be eating them
Um,
nonstop.
I
Hey,
have a picture.
Oreo Big Stuff's a hood. Your mom says Oreo Big Stuff's a hood.
They're good or they're good, ma.
She meant good.
Unbelievable.
She fixed it.
Hey, Cindy, how you doing? Um, I have a picture. Um, as a matter of fact, I think I shared it on. It was in my picture. Actually, I think it's on my story. I'm sitting, or maybe, oh no, it went away yesterday. I'm sitting at the table, and I have my LJN wrestlers, and next to me is a bag of Dixie's crackers. Remember Dixie's crackers?
No.
Yeah, dude. Dixie, they were like kind of like Ritz crackers, but they were like snack size.
For real? Like Ritz
hmm
Bits?
Yeah, kind of, sort of, yeah. But they were like these weird crackers that I think they were like 99 cents crackers my mom used to buy. But I used to take them for lunch and stuff. But yeah, I have my Hulk Hogan and my Macho Man doll, and there's a pack of Dixie's crackers.
Get out of here. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Terrible.
yeah, it made me think of that, and Dixie's crackers are not around anymore.
Wow.
They actually came out with something called Dixie's drumsticks, and they were like chicken flavored like biscuit cookies.
Oh man, that's like for putting in your soup or something when you're sick.
Disgusting.
Nobody
Disgusting.
who- That shit.
I would never ever eat that. But yeah, that was on my list. Dixie crackers. I remembered it because I remembered the bag. The bag looked like a tablecloth.
Shit, man. You know what? You got me on that one. Maybe if I see him, it'll spark something, but I have no idea. Never seen him before. But that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. Was that on your list? Is that a list? Is that one of
That
your?
was Yep, that was my number 4. What's your number? What are we on? You're number 5, right?
No. I'm still at number 4. I'm at number 4 now.
Okay, so let's talk your number 4.
Shit, this right here. I'm surprised that this wasn't on your list because remember when we spoke earlier, I was worried. I was like, listen, we're both picking 5 things. We might
Yeah.
have a lot of the same things because we grew up together, literally. Like, there's nothing that we really ate that the other one didn't eat somehow or another. But this one's a good one. And they don't make it anymore, but they got to. But I'm going to make some of my own. Jello pudding pops.
Yeah.
Now,
Jello.
what?
Jello.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were skipping again.
No. I'm not skipping.
But yeah, man, Jello pudding pops. You remember Jello pudding pops, right?
Of course I
Man,
do.
things were delicious. I remember being, it's like the story you just told, playing with the LJN wrestlers. We'd be in the living room in your house playing LJN wrestlers, watching Pile Driver or watching an old wrestling tape, one of the Coliseum video classics or something like that. And we would be snacking on a number of things, but Jello pudding pops were a fucking big deal, man. We used to eat Jello pudding pops like crazy. And I remember my freezer, and I wouldn't they would get lost in there sometimes, and I would always dig, and it was like, you know how you could always find change in your couch cushions? Well, I could always find Jello pudding pops in my freezer. If I dug, like, there's one, I found one. I remember when I was a kid eating them like crazy. And the vanilla, the swirl, the chocolate, they were all good, but the chocolate one was the best one, man. The chocolate pudding pop.
I remember in school, in preschool, we had a poster up of Bill Cosby with the pudding pop.
Yeah. Well, I don't think if they brought them back now, I doubt he would be their spokesperson.
He had no, of course not. He had I want to say like a pinstripe shirt, if I remember correctly. He had like the pudding pop in his hand. Yeah, he had it in his hand, and had that weird smile on his face, like, yeah. Well, Bill Cosby was huge in the 80s. I mean,
yeah. But I mean that product alone, man. And again, another one that was discontinued due to poor sales. I don't know. I
don't understand that.
But do you see how many you see them on forums and stuff? You see them on pages, Instagram pages just like yours and even yours, of people, Mickey Parade Pops.
I do.
Stopped making those recently because I remember buying them for my kids. My kids used to eat
those were recent. Yep.
Yeah. But like, imagine that. Imagine like right now, look at what you hear a lot of people like us who remember the 80s and remember the 90s, who crave, the old foods and snacks and drinks and things that they had. Look at how many things came back. Blue Pepsi came back. Crystal Pepsi came back. Dunkaroos came back. So many things came back.
You know what I feel like is kind of like an insult to us? when they bring back like the old school Pepsi and it says made with real sugar.
Well, they did that on purpose because that was a campaign that they were doing because back years ago they were made with real sugar. They released
Right.
Pepsi and Mountain Dew also. Mountain Dew had the old school white cans and it was made with real cane sugar. And that was the point of those, releasing them
I know, but
when they were introduced, you know?
it makes you wonder, like, what the hell? What am I drinking if I'm going to drink Pepsi now? Like,
High fructose corn
high
syrup.
fructose corn syrup. It's
Sugar. It's cheaper and it's more, but you could make it. You can make sugar out of, you know, that's where they get
yeah,
it from.
it's just
Bonkers.
bonkers. I'm not sure if you had those in the States.
Bonkers. We did have. They were like.
Did we have them in the States? I don't remember those.
Bonkers. They were like little square or rectangular chew candies, like Starbursts, and they had 2 flavors in one. It was one flavor in the middle, and it was wrapped in another flavor. I remember Bonkers. Bonkers were bonkers. They were fucking amazing. I remember eating those when I was playing stickball with Guy and Bill. When we like, that's another candy.
Yes. Wow. I'm looking it up now. I do remember bonkers. Yeah.
Bonkers.
Wow. Yeah, we had them here.
Bring back Bonkers.
Yeah, we had them.
Yeah, man. I remember eating those too. But yeah. Back to the pudding pops.
They were like
also,
Tootsie Rolls.
huh?
They kind of
Yeah,
looked like Tootsie Rolls.
It was like a taffy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I remember those.
Snacks, those are good too. Clearly Canadian. That was good too. I was watching Seinfeld the other night, as a matter of fact, and they were drinking those on the show. But yeah, they didn't just make pudding pops, but they had gelatin pops. They had
Yes, they did.
like cherry and strawberry and grape.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking amazing. Those are so good. But now they discontinued them, but I don't know if you can still get them or they were part of like some sort of gimmick where a company was doing something. But they have Jello pudding pop mold kits that come with popsicle molds and sticks, and
Really?
it has pudding mix inside it. You can make your own pudding pops.
Huh.
Those were sold. I remember seeing them because I do what I do for a living, so I I see things on shelves and I think it might have been a Christmas promotion or a Valentine's Day promotion or something like that where they released them. But Popsicle, I think, ended up with the rights, and Popsicle brand was making pudding pops, but they weren't Jello. And then
they didn't taste the same. They didn't taste the same
because they got to make them cheaper. They got to save money, and the quality goes down, just like everything else, you know.
Jeez.
But I remember when I was a kid, we used to get. Remember the the popsicle molds that we got from the Finger Hut catalog that Aunt Carol bought and my father bought and Aunt Ro bought. Remember those? The Finger Hut catalog, buy tons of shit. Well, we got the popsicle molds in one time, and I don't remember. I don't remember the shape exactly. They weren't the wide ones. I think they were like the straight stick ones, maybe. But they used to have the squiggly stick that you put inside of it. And me and Tracy used to fill it with orange juice and Pepsi and all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, I used to do it with chocolate milk.
Yeah. See, and we tried to make pudding pops, and I looked it online. They said that it's basically just frozen chocolate pudding. But when we made it, I think we used the stovetop chocolate pudding, because back then my mother would make the chocolate pudding on the stove.
It's not a bad idea.
Not like the the instant ones you make where you pour the powder and you pour the milk and you stir it for like 8 minutes and then you put it in the fridge and then it just sets. But my mother would the Mighty Fine, I think it is Mighty Fine of chocolate pudding, and she would always do the stove, and then she put them in the cups, and then there would always be the pudding skin on top. You know, you've heard that joke also about pudding skins and stuff like that, but it was a real thing. I don't know who out there remembers that. I hope somebody does, but yeah, man, that was part of it, and it never worked out the same. I think a lot of it had to do with we didn't want to wait long enough for them to freeze. You know,
we didn't want to ever wait
or eat them. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, pudding pops. That's another memorable thing in my childhood. Also, you're involved in a lot of that stuff, memories from because we always were together and stuff, and eating these snacks and candies and junk food and shit. But yeah, man, that pudding pops are definitely on my list. That's a big one.
On my number 4 would be, do you remember Fruit Wrinkles?
Yes, I do. I remember Fruit Wrinkles.
I had them. What?
They were like little chewy raisins.
They were fruit snacks.
Yeah,
they were fruit snacks.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember taking those to school in kindergarten. I had Fruit Wrinkles, and We used to. It's. I used to trade them for Pez.
Why? That's fucking
I
suck.
fruit wrinkles were okay. I didn't really care for fruit snacks really. I like cherry flavored Pez.
Oh, so how come you didn't put that on your list? Because they still make that?
What, cherry Pez?
Yeah.
Yeah, cherry Pez you can get anywhere.
Put fruit wrinkles on your list, and you're like, I don't even like fruit wrinkles. What the hell's going
No,
on?
but I remembered fruit wrinkles.
Oh, well, yeah.
They were well, yeah. Well, my mom always
Art
bought them.
bite fruit snacks.
My mom always bought them. She always put fruit snacks in my lunchbox, and she would probably tell you to this day, "Well, you sure ate them." I kind
No,
of
you
gave them
didn't.
away. I
Gave 'em-
kind of gave them away. But yeah, and I remember the old school fruit roll-ups because after Betty Crocker, I believe Fruit Roll-Up took over, and then they started making them, and then they put out the
Fruit roll up was the name of it. I don't know. I don't know nothing about the companies. But I remember fruit roll ups used to be big.
oh, huge,
Big. They
huge.
weren't these little things in the box. They were big and they were in plastic cellophane. And I remember going to Wallbaum's food shopping,
Hmm.
and the deli department had them on the counter in like a bowl of some kind or something, a jar. And then
Hmm.
I would always bug my mother was like, oh man, because we used to go there and Judy would be there working, whatever, and we go see her, and we pass by, and I would always bug her for the fruit roll-ups in the little jars and the pickles in the barrel. I always wanted big pickles, the big barrel pickles, but fruit roll-ups, like original fruit roll-ups, I don't think
They were
anything
so
better.
good. They
Nothing
were so
tastes
good. But Fruit Wrinkles, yeah, they had a whole bunch of different flavors. I mostly had,
white shark bites, yeah.
yeah, I remember. I think it was always like strawberry. It was always some weird like, and it didn't taste. It never tasted like strawberry. They were just like,
Oh, the wrinkles.
yeah, they were
I always
never
thought
like,
they all tasted the same. They were just different colors. I didn't think they were
yeah,
flavored. I just thought like they were
nothing.
colors. But yeah,
But yeah, that's my number four, Wrinkles. I remember giving them away in kindergarten.
wrinkles. They were like
Wrinkles.
little dried up alien skin tags or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's disgusting. I wasn't. I have them on my list because I remembered them, but yeah, I wasn't a
Yeah,
huge fan.
no, I get it. I get it. I get it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't. I remember having them here and there, but the fruit snacks weren't a big thing in my house because they didn't. I don't remember them really coming out until we were like kind of too old to have them. Kind of. I know fruit roll-ups we had, but who didn't have fruit roll-ups? They were delicious.
yeah, fruit roll-ups, and now there's like fruit roll-up challenges and all that other
Oh
crap.
yeah, fruit by the foot, things like that. But
Yeah, yeah.
the what's it called? What do they call them? Fruit tape? Not fruit tape. What the hell are they called? Is it fruit tape?
No,
There's
it's
another kind of fruit roll up that it's not like the stretchy rolled up on the plastic cellophane. There's like another one, and it's thicker. It's like fruit. I don't know. Fuck, I
no,
forget.
it's fruit by the foot. I'm looking up now.
No,
Oh,
no, I'm not talking about that.
roll-ups?
We talked about roll ups. There's a different kind of like fruit snack like that, like a fruit roll up, but it's fruit tape or fruit something or I don't forget it. It doesn't matter.
I'm looking up. There's fruit strip. There's a bunch of things. I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, those are really good. Like those are like just dried fruit. Like they taste really, really good. They're nice and sweet. Fruit leather. Thank
Is
you.
that what it
Oh,
is?
fruit leather. That's another name for it. But the strips, they're like thicker.
Oh, look
They're
who
thicker. I
fruit
think
leather.
I think it is fruit leather. I think so. But anyway, I got hair in my mouth. Dog hair. Stupid dogs. Freddie ate my remote control tonight, so I'm kind of pissed. That's why I was mad before. It's gone. It's just gone.
He demolished it.
It's gone.
What can
He's
you
got
do?
rock.
It's a baby.
Yeah.
I'm looking
But
up fruit leather. I don't see no fruit leather.
then it's not fruit leather. Fruit leather, I think, was another name for fruit
Oh
leather.
no, there is something called fruit leather.
There
It's
is,
by
but
Stretch Island. Yeah.
yeah. But they're good too. They're really good too. They tasted different. They were like the alternative. They were like the Pepsi to the fruit roll-ups Coke. You know what I mean? It's like the
Yeah.
alternate. But anyway, yeah. So, moving on.
What is your number five, my man?
My number 5 is it's the king of all drinks. It's the king of all drinks. And you know what it is. You know, everybody's got to know now. And I saw somebody mention it before. The reason why I'm wearing this tonight, Ecto Cooler.
Oh,
It's just the best drink of all time. And I don't care who you are. If you were old enough to be able to just go to the store and buy this, you lived your life, man.
I'm surprised that Ecto Cooler is still not around.
What? It's ridiculous. And It's funny because they re-released it just recently when
For the
Afterlife,
Ghostbusters movie.
but they didn't release it for purchase. So you couldn't go to the store and buy Ecto Cooler. It was part of a giveaway. It was like a contest. They gave away like these special, you know, bottles of it or something. It looked like little Snapple bottles, or what you would get like you know, when you get orange juice in like a 7-Eleven, it's like
Yeah.
very fine or something like that, whatever it's called. It's like a little weird plastic bottle, I think. Excuse me. Ecto Cooler was high C flavor that was released years and years and years and years ago when along with the Ghostbusters, but the animated series. It was like popular because it was Slimer. Slimer was on the box, the little juice boxes, and they made the big gigantic cans with Slimer on them and Ecto Cooler. But it was tangerine orange juice, tangerine orange high C. That's all it was. And it was the most amazing flavor drink of all time.
So good. It was so good.
And it's funny because it was around for a while, and then they changed the name. It wasn't Mondos. Mondos are good too.
Mondos.
The Squeeze-Its, like you were talking about, right? Mondos.
Squeeze-Its, yeah.
But after they got rid of the Ecto name, it was just like tangerine something. It was still the same flavor, but it wasn't the same box anymore. It wasn't Slimer, but it was still the same flavor. But then they did flavor. A bunch of years ago, I think it was 2015 or 2016. It might have been to coincide with the 30th anniversary of Ghostbusters, the release or something like that. Yeah, it might have been. I don't remember what it was. There was a promotion for that too. But Amazon was selling cans of Ecto Cooler, but they made them in like the tall boy can, like the Monster energy drink size cans.
For Ecto Cooler?
Ecto Cooler, yep.
Really? I did not know that.
On Amazon, and I was still working my old job at the time. So it was like 2014, 2015, something like that. It might have been. I was still working there, and my buddy, I didn't have an Amazon Prime account. I had no idea. And he was like, oh man, he was telling me they have Ecto Cooler. And I'm like, get out of here. He's like, yeah. It was a case of, I think it was 12 tall boys in a case. And it was like $25 or something like that. I gave him money. I said, buy it for me. And I got a case of Ecto Cooler in the cans, the tall boy cans. And I kept it. And I savored every ounce that I could and made it last as long as possible. I did give a few cans away to some friends who were into it. And one of those friends, I believe, and I can corroborate with her on this to show you, she still has the unopened can.
I was just going to say, they sell, I'm looking it up, they have unopened cans.
Yeah, but you can't drink them. You can't drink them. You can't drink them. They're like years old. They're like 7 years old. But
yeah, from 2016. That's disgusting.
2016. That's what it was. But 2016, they were fresh. They made them again.
Yeah.
So they were okay for consumption. They were safe. So I bought a case or two of those, and I lived off of them for a little while. And I have pictures of them. I'll share them with you. And if you want to share them on the, in your notes or on the YouTube page, it'd be a good idea. I'll share.
Why don't they make them anymore? That was just so good.
You want to know, the funny thing is, though, another friend of mine who can vouch for me on this found a pretty decent recipe to make your own online. And it has to do with specific types of like flavor Kool-Aid mixed with country time lemonade mix with
it's got to be citrus.
The recipe. Anthony has the recipe, and he's made it. And he said it's pretty close. It's pretty close in color and taste. And yeah, there are recipes online for you to make your own Ecto Cooler. Whoever's interested, you can just look it up yourself, or if you can find a link for it, or I'll find it and share it with you, and you can share it with everybody else. Somebody said PB Max right there, that's my number 5. So beautiful. That's the last snack we're discussing. Ric Flair bathtub Ecto Cooler. I mean,
Ecto Cooler.
That's amazing.
PB Max. I remember going to the stationery right after school and getting a PB Max, and it had that cookie. It had real peanut butter in it. It was just so good, man. PB Max was just so good. Oh, I do remember Lifesaver Holes. I do. And Butterfinger BBs. They don't make Butterfinger BBs anymore?
No, they don't. You know what? Honestly, could do
They
without
were
them.
okay. They weren't anything great. Pepsi free. That's right, Pepsi free.
Pepsi
Hey,
free.
Pepsi, hey, pal, if you want a Pepsi, you have to pay
You
for
want
it.
a Pepsi, pal? You're gonna pay for it. I think that was just Diet Pepsi, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't anything. It
Uh,
wasn't anything crazy.
like in Europe, they
Um,
don't call things diet. Like if you buy Pepsi, like Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke, it's diet. It's Pepsi Light. They don't call it diet over there.
no, no, not at all. Uh, PB Max. It also had the white wrapper. It was cool. It had like the weird like lettering on it. It was just
It's not
appealing. But
definitely
they also had like a jar of PB Max peanut butter that they used to sell.
get out of here.
Yeah, man. It was just a mixing of the PB Max. This was like they brought it back in like the early 90s,
No
early to
way.
mid 90s, because it was discontinued in like 92 or 93. So after it discontinued, they brought it back and it was like in a big peanut butter like jar that you can buy. Um,
I had no idea. I never heard of that.
yeah, man. And yeah, it was peanut. I'm looking it up now. It was crunchy PB Max, and it had actually has Snickers flavor in
In
a
a
big
jar,
jar. In a jar, dude. In a
like to
jar.
bread for like
Yes,
that,
like a spread.
like I
Yes,
would with a spoon.
yes,
Oh man, that's so fat.
yeah. Oh, it's very fat because
I
that
would take.
you do bread on bread. Just slap it on bread, a whole thick layer of it, and just eat it.
No, I don't think I've had peanut butter in like a year.
I mean, I peanut butter.
Clear
I'm not
Pepsi.
eating rice cakes anytime soon, so I'm not eating it.
No,
Mr. T cereal. Mr. T cereal was Captain Crunch. It's exactly
it
what it was.
was. Yep,
Just Captain Crunch.
just T-shaped Captain Crunch.
That's
Just
all it
like
was.
wrestling. Remember WWF wrestling cereal?
That's an honorable mention.
Uh,
WWF Superstars Wrestling Cereal.
It was
Ma-
the same, Captain Crunch, but it was delicious.
Oh,
Yep.
dude, it was so
Magic
good.
Middle cookies. Remember Magic Middle cookies?
I actually took that off my list because Magic Middles they made
Those.
like 3 years ago. They were still out.
They were.
They brought them back for a little bit and then they took them away. That's
I
what
know
they do.
Duncan Hines makes stuffed cookies now. Like they have red velvet cookies with
Yeah.
cream cheese frosting inside, which is pretty much the same as Magic Middles. It's not Duncan Hines. Chips Ahoy. Chips Ahoy.
Chips
But I
Ahoy.
don't know. Keebler made Magic Middles, right?
Keebler made Magic Middles, yes.
Yeah.
Keebler
Yeah,
made Magic Middles.
they were delicious. They were just real good cookies. Pac-Man cereal, yeah, man. That was good too. You know what? You know what cereal was always as another honorable mention. And we're talking about cereal. Let's talk about cereal.
Yeah.
I used to eat Frankenberry out of the box like popcorn while I was watching TV.
Oh,
Anybody else?
Frankenberry. Frankenberry, bro, if I could, I mean, I probably could still, but I won't do this. I would buy it by the case like my mom used to buy us the WWF Superstars because
Yeah.
my mom used to work for McCrory's
Yep.
and she would get like first come, first serve with the wrestling superstar shipment.
It was all.
And remember, she would bring
Oh.
home a big box of like 12 boxes of cereal.
Yep.
And oh man, it had the flip books in them, remember?
We had like dozens of them because we had so
Yeah.
many boxes of cereal. We had dozens of flip books.
Oh,
I wish I still had
dude.
those now. I'd sell them on eBay.
You know, you
Jesus.
can buy the box of WWE Superstars on eBay.
Yeah,
They want like $100 for it.
Yeah. I've seen boxes on cereal on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the marshmallows cereal.
I did not like it because it was checked with marshmallows.
Get out of here. You didn't like that? You're insane. It was delicious.
I'm not a fan of checks.
Oh man, checks with marshmallows though. It wasn't just checks. It was like sugar coated checks. It was like Frosted Flakes flavored checks with marshmallows, man.
I gotta look this up now.
There's fucking sugar on the damn things. Come on. How could you not
Yeah.
like them?
Yeah, I was right. It was checks. I'm looking at a box right now. You free honey ooze inside.
Okay, but I'm saying the cereal was checks. Yeah, like those checks shaped things and everything. Fine.
Yeah.
But they were sweet. They weren't shitty checks.
Yeah, I
It
didn't
was
like
marshmallows.
them. Didn't like them. Did not like them. Dude, we
No problem.
definitely have to do a show on cereal.
We will. Well, we'll put that
We
on
have
a
to do a
poll
show on cereal.
within the next, couple of episodes that we're gonna do. We have a lot of poll options, and we're gonna go over some of them. Maybe cereal could be one of them.
Yeah.
But we're gonna need feedback from everybody. Anybody who's watching, anybody who's following your pages, anybody who's interested in the same things we are. Let us know. Give us
Yeah.
a shout. Send us
They
messages.
they do make Rice Krispie treat cereal. Yes, they do still.
Yeah. They
It's
did.
in
They
like
re
Walmart or
that
something.
like a year ago. They also make. You know what else they make? I have it in my store. Cosmic brownies cereal. They make oatmeal cream pie cereal. You know, like the little
I
Debbie
never
snack.
had. I stay
They
away
have
from that, but yeah.
cereals for all them. I didn't. I seen them, and oh my god, like I can't eat. I don't eat that stuff now. I'm Scout's honor, like God's honest truth. I don't eat that shit. I would love to, because there's Oreo O's and cinnamon
I
toast
saw
crunch.
them. I saw them here last week. Oreo
Yep,
O's. I was so
on top
tempted
of the
because,
fridge.
bro, cereal here in Florida. Every time I go to Publix, all this shit is always BOGO. It's always buy one get one. Always, no
Yeah,
matter what.
Publix, they like that's a good sale for
Oh, I
over
love it.
here. It's like 10 for 10 or 5 for 5, 5 for 5, like that. You know, must
Yeah,
buy five, $1 each. Cheerios does that a lot over here.
but they're the big boxes, like the family size. So
Oh,
you
that's
buy
good.
one family
Oh,
size,
my,
you get a family size for free.
yeah.
So they had
But
the
they're
Oreo O's.
99 a box though. You gotta get two.
Well, no, they're $5. So if you pay
Yeah,
$5, you get one
yeah,
for free. I mean,
that,
that's great.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the Oreo O's were part of the sale, and I was
Oh,
just like, I was
yeah,
like, you know what? I would definitely like try it. But
dude.
also, I do want to put this out there. While I was eating the rice, the Fruity Pebbles, because of COVID, I could barely taste it. So I'm
Yeah,
sitting there eating it, and I had like the remnants
worth
of the fruit, but I'm like,
worth.
it's still worth it because I could still taste it, the texture, and I was
It,
still eating
yeah,
it. And I was
it's
just like,
there.
damn, I was like, yes, they do make Cracklin Oat Bran. I actually saw it. I was actually
Crack
holding
Oat
the
Bran.
box. They
Listen,
still make it. They still
that
make it.
cereal. It's
Cookie
not like
Crisp,
Cookie Crisp. Yeah, it's still around.
it's
Still
still
around.
around. It's
Grape
still
Nuts.
around.
But
Grape Nuts
Crack
is still around.
Oat Bran was a cereal my mother used to eat, and it was so fucking expensive that she wouldn't let me eat it
What,
because
Grape Nuts?
no, Cracklin Oat Bran,
Oh,
because
it's
the boxes
expensive.
aren't big; they're smaller
Yeah,
boxes.
I don't know
And
why.
I would eat them, and I used to love it, and I used to sneak it. I used to go take some out and eat them like out of the box. But now every time I like if when I'm buying cereal, when I'm doing shopping, um, my store they never have it in stock anymore. It's
It's
always sold.
here.
It's always sold. I mean, we have it. The
Yeah.
stickers there, like we keep it, we sell it, but it's always sold out. I have bad timing, I guess, but that's another
No.
series. It's not
It,
one of those big brand Kellogg's or
ET cereal.
Post deals, but
Nintendo cereal.
it's a good fucking cereal, man. Yeah, Cookie Crisp used to come in vanilla flavor. Yeah,
ET cereal. Nintendo. We have to do a show on cereal. We will do a show on cereal.
put that on
And
the
you know what?
bowl.
While we do the show on cereal, I will break my keto diet and have a bowl of cereal while I'm doing it.
You're just using that as an excuse to eat cereal. You should. I can't.
150%. No, I'm really not going to eat. I'm not going to eat the cereal.
That's
I'm not
ridiculous.
going to eat the cereal.
You're gonna eat some
No.
keto cereal. Listen,
I haven't tried keto cereal. I have not tried it. I want to, but I don't know. I don't want to be disappointed. And also, it's probably going to be super expensive.
you
So,
will, and you know what's gonna happen? Eating that anyway. Anything like in the stores, whenever it says keto this, keto that, it's fucking not. Like
well, I
it's
wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it from the store. I would order it like on one of
yeah,
the places that have like keto cereal. But I
yeah, yeah.
won't. I won't.
I
I
haven't had
won't.
cereal in a while, but if I'm gonna have cereal, it's gonna be a good one. I'm gonna,
Yeah, I mean, I would make it worth it if I'm going to eat it.
every single episode, and it would be entertaining.
Well, you could talk about cereal every single episode. It would be entertaining. Yeah, listen, I don't give a shit what age you are. Everybody loves cereal. It's cereal is just a nice, comforting breakfast food. Actually, it's not even a breakfast food. I could eat cereal at 2 in the morning and be happy with it.
Dinner, it's lunch.
Yeah,
Golden Grams, that's another Golden
snack.
Gram. Oh man, Golden Grams is the fucking best.
Magic Spoon is cute. I heard that.
Spoon.
I do
Yeah,
want to try Magic Spoon. I do.
yeah.
Is it good? Because I don't know if it's good or not, and I don't really want to spend the money on it if it's not going to be good. But I heard it is.
Any testimonials I've heard of people, but I'm sure that those are just people that are paid to fucking.
Oh, someone
like,
said sucks. It ain't worth eating.
suck. Yeah,
Sucks.
yeah, terrible.
Really?
Well, listen, like I said, if I'm gonna eat cereal, it's gonna be something that's gonna be worth it. I'm gonna do, Fruity Pebbles. I'm gonna do Captain Crunch. I'm gonna do, one of the big five. You know what I mean? That's what I'm gonna do.
Do you remember
Yeah.
Cinnapebbles?
Cinnapebbles. You know what's messed up? I when I was doing the research online earlier today, I passed by something that said Cinnapebbles was discontinued in like 2004 or something like that.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Because I
No,
have it.
it was around after that.
They have it now. There's all kinds
Well,
of pebbles.
well, is it Cinna Pebbles? Well, it's Cinna Crunch Pebbles. Cinna Crunch Pebbles was around.
Cinnamon Crunch pebbles. Is there a difference? I didn't think there was a difference.
Uh, yeah, because the cinnamon pebbles were actual like the flakes, like kind of like fruity pebbles. Cinna Crunch were like the little round ones.
Oh, they had the crunchy bits in them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Remember the Sugar Golden Crisp commercial with the Dean Martin sounding bear?
Yeah,
Of course.
can't get enough of that. Golden.
Yeah,
Yeah. That
I
one.
do remember that. Yeah.
And Honey Smacks. They were both like the same
Oh, they
cereal.
were the same with the frog.
Yeah, one was a frog and one was a teddy bear. But that
You know
teddy
what?
bear was smooth, man. That teddy bear was pretty badass.
You know what I liked? I liked Cocoa Krispies.
Cocoa,
Everybody wants these chocolates.
Cocoa,
Everybody loves my Cocoa Krispies.
yeah.
I loved Cocoa Krispies. You know what? I actually think. Well, no, I'm full of shit now because I would say like Cocoa Krispies was. I was gonna say Cocoa Krispies might be better than Cocoa Pebbles, but I'm not gonna go there.
Oh, it ain't.
I actually I didn't have I had Fruity Pebbles, but I also because I bought the buy one get one, I bought a box of Cocoa Pebbles as well,
Yeah.
and I was able to taste the Cocoa Pebbles because of the chocolate.
Yeah, it's stronger. Yeah, it's definitely stronger.
There is nothing like a bowl of cereal and then either fruity milk afterwards or chocolate
And
milk after.
drinking down that milk.
Drinking
man.
the whole thing.
I
It is
remember
fantastic.
waking up on Saturday mornings to watch cartoons,
Mm-hmm.
the bowl of cereal, and waiting for wrestling to come on at 12 o'clock noon, and then going outside to play on Saturday. That was my day. My Saturday.
I actually shared it on my my keto page. I showed you I made my own cereal with the cut the carb, which is time consuming.
Made your own cereal with
Cut the
flatbread?
carb.
Cut the carb
Yes.
flat
Yep.
cereal.
Yes. You know you can
Let me
very
tell you something.
easily.
I would not torture myself that way.
It's like I said, it's time consuming.
Yeah.
I used one flatbread. You cut it into like strips, cinnamon the whole thing with a little bit of butter and cinnamon, and then you cut it into like squares. And then you make sure that they're all flat on parchment paper. You put them in the oven for like 10 minutes. They crisp up. And then once they cool, they harden, they crisp. You throw them in milk. It's cereal, dude. I know it sounds weird. I promise you it's low carb cereal. It did the job. But I was disappointed because one flatbread wasn't enough. I needed like 3.
No, you need like 3. And listen, I wouldn't torture myself that way. You know what I mean? I honestly, the work aside, the elbow grease aside, I'm not doing it because I'd rather just not have cereal.
I wanted cereal, and it was like something that I wanted to try because I saw it online, and I was just like, oh, maybe, but yeah.
Listen, worth a shot. I applaud you for giving it a try because I know you try all those recipes and stuff like that. And like to me, I would just rather not have it. Like the only thing that I tried that was the most time-consuming thing that I've tried were the nuggets I showed you the other day. Those were the most time-consuming meal that I've made to date because of all the prep and then the making each individual one and then frying them, and it's like, oh my god, what a
But you made them taste like McDonald's, right?
They tasted almost identical. And you know the funny thing, Adam tasted it, and Adam was like, oh my god, they taste almost like so close to McDonald's chicken nuggets. The texture was the same, that crisp on the outside, and they were spongy and soft on the inside, but I made mine thick, like they were like an inch or like a little heavy inch thick, you know what I mean? Because I want to feel like I'm eating something too. And I didn't eat 20 of them. I ate like 6, you know, and they were big and it was nice. But that was the
cereal used to make me look forward to waking up for school.
yes.
It did, but I would be so disappointed because I had to go to school after.
I didn't eat usually before school. It wasn't breakfast. Like for me, breakfast was a weekend thing. Saturdays and Sundays breakfast. Like even now as an adult, I eat the breakfast now like I do the eggs and the salt, like because you told me like, you know, it's important and stuff. I got him
on low carb, guys.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I do that, which is good. It's made a huge difference, and I told you all the changes that I've noticed. But as a kid, schools, I got up for school, and I was a night showerer, so I would shower at night, sleep, wake up, brush my teeth, get dressed, and then lay down until it was time to leave. And my son Adam does the same thing now. That kid gets up, brushes his teeth, puts his clothes on, and lays in his bed with the light off, and his phone alarm is set for when he has to leave the house to go to school. And then when his alarm goes off, he gets up, out the door. He don't eat breakfast, nothing. I would grab a popcorn here and there. Nah, he doesn't, but they offer it, but he doesn't eat it. He doesn't normally eat it. He's the pickier one. Like with him, he'd rather not anyway. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, weekends were a breakfast thing for me. Saturdays was cereal and cartoons and wrestling and outside. Sunday was cartoons, wrestling, but my father was always home on Saturdays, and he would always make breakfast.
You mean Sunday?
Yeah, he would always do Sunday breakfast. He'd make cheese omelets, pancakes, whatever it is that he had in the house, man, he would make it. And I would be so full. And I would take the wrestling hour, 12 to 1, and be digesting, you know, my big breakfast that he used to make. And then I would go out and play baseball or something like that. And, you know,
Same. My mom would do that too. She would make breakfast, and she would make like sausage and eggs and stuff like that. And she'd be like, "No, you're not having cereal. You had cereal yesterday, and you had cereal Friday, so you're not having cereal."
No, and it would be eggs, toast, fucking hash browns, bacon, sausage, corned beef hash, bagel, waffles, pancake. Like, it was everything. It was like, you know, it was like a movie-style breakfast, you know?
Those were the days, bro.
They were, and that's what we talk about here every week, you know? And it makes you see how we ramble on and on and on. It's already over an hour. We were finished with our list a while ago. We're talking about cereal, and we're talking about everything else. Frosted Flakes was always my father's favorite cereal. My father used to grab the box, a bowl and a spoon, and the milk, and he would go in his bedroom, and he would just fucking eat the Frosted Flakes, man. I can't believe he's not diabetic right now.
Frosted Flakes with banana, and that's bad.
Dude, bananas in any cereal is good.
It is, but at the same time, it's bad because it's, dude, so much sugar between the banana and the cereal. I mean, if you're gonna do it, then do it. You know what I mean?
Hairs now, because you're gonna eat 4 bowls of fucking, you know, Captain Crunch anyway. What's the difference? You throw a banana in here and there. You know what I mean?
Like I said, if you're gonna do it, fucking do it.
When I would stay over the house, I would sleep over, and we'd be hanging out and shit. It'd be like 2 o'clock in the morning, and your mom would get up, and we'd hear her. We'd fucking scurry into the kitchen, and she'd be eating cereal, sitting around fucking eating bowls of cereal. There'd be like 4 different kinds of boxes of cereal on the table, and we'd be like, oh, a little bit of, you know, Fruity Pebbles, and then, oh, I want some of that, and we'd have a little bit of Lucky Charms, and oh man, what cereal? Give me some corn pops. Oh,
so much cereal. I blame my mother.
Peanut butter
crunch. My mother for all that.
I remember you guys always had peanut butter crunch.
It's like mouth gravel.
Dude, it's so fucking.
It's
I know.
So good, but it's mouth gravel. Anytime I had 2 bowls of it, the top of my mouth would be swollen. Always.
Yeah, it doesn't go away.
Always.
You gotta wait for it to get soft. Captain Crunch was always better when it was mushy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I remember Carla would always make the cereal, the Rice Krispie treat bars, like the marshmallow treat bars.
The last time she made them, we devoured them. I think the last time, when I was there for WrestleMania,
Waffle
she
Crisp.
made them.
She made Waffle Crisp, Fruity Pebbles,
so
and what's it called? Why can't I remember what am I doing? Oh, Crunch Berries. Crunch Berries.
Crunch Berries, yeah. Crunch Berries. Crunch Berries.
Yeah,
well, I had fun. We'll end this one here. I had a lot of fun talking about 80s snacks that are
Rice Krispies. You had to put banana in Rice Krispies. Banana.
Oh yeah,
sugar,
because then you had the sugar.
Chips.
Yeah.
And whatever the fuck you put in
Anything.
Rice Krispies to make sure you could choke those bitches down. I used to have a box of Rice Krispies in my house as a kid. It was there for like 5 years. No one touched it. It was just there. It was like a spot. That's the Rice Krispies spot, you know? And it was fucking, you couldn't put nothing else there.
I had fun. I know you had fun. We're talking about 80s snacks and some cereal. I'll put up another poll at the end of the week, probably during the weekend. And then, you know, we'll do the show next Wednesday. And that'll be that. But I had a lot of fun, man. This is talking about, like, going down memory lane and just, like, thinking about all the stuff that we had is just... Kids today will never ever know.
No, it's not the same. It's definitely not the same. We enjoyed ourselves growing up, and we appreciate what we had while we were growing up now more than ever. I think any other generation more so than any other generation.
Sure.
Because we can not only think about what we used to have and what we can go back and look at it, and we can share it with people like whoever watches this show and whoever follows your show, and we can always, we can still experience it now. You know what I mean? And I make sure that my kids understand what it's like to be a kid now and to enjoy all the things that they have now, and because they'll remember them the same way we do when they get older. You know?
Yeah.
So and let us know what you think. Again, everybody who's watching, everyone follows the pages. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. They're both just as important. And give us some feedback. Let us know what you would like us to talk about, what you would like us to do. Maybe you would like to see us change up a show once in a while and do something a little different. Let us know what you think. And we always appreciate constructive criticism. And just continue to follow us and check us out every week. And yeah.
I will. I also wanted to announce that maybe I'll start the trivia again. Maybe like on a Friday night or something like that. We'll do the trivia. A lot of people ask me about that all the time. They like the trivia, so maybe I'll bring that back. Guys, continue to support. I have my link in the bio. If you do like 80s cinemas and you do like 90s to the future, your support is always appreciated. It's never expected. If you'd like to donate, that's greatly, greatly appreciated. Considering like all the programs that I use to make my videos and stuff like that is very, very expensive. But continue to follow 80 Cinemas, continue to follow 90s to the future. I hope you guys enjoy the content. Still going strong after, what is this 2022? I started 80 Cinemas in 2018. So it's going strong, man. It's really, really cool. I do want to point out, I had two people message me last week really quick. If you see me, if you live in Florida and you see me, you guys can say hi. I had two people message me. I think, Joe, I showed you this, right? Where the person saw me in like the bacon section, and him and his wife, they saw me and they didn't want to say anything. They thought it would be weird. I'm not that type of person. I'm not a celebrity. I run a page. However, it's cool. I think it's cool as long as you don't attack me for anything. I'm cool. Just you could say hi. You could say what's up. I had one person do that, and one time they asked me for a picture, and I thought that was weird because again, it's
weird at all.
I thought it was strange. I thought it was strange. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Get interactive with the fans, man. I'll take pictures with whoever wants pictures. No problem.
But yeah, you guys can say hi if you see me. That's cool. I don't mind. I really don't mind. So I just figured I'd put that out there. But again, guys, thank you so much for tonight. Really do appreciate it. Joe, I'll talk to you. And look for the poll, guys. And until then, we'll see you next week. All right, Joe. Be cool, bro.
Good night.
All right, well, later.